Hello, so what we have here today is a quick demonstration of my first app for a smartphone. So I have a bit of a programming and server experience, but what stoked my interest in building this was from a time when I worked tech support, supporting Blackberries. So I started reading up on these devices and discovering their capabilities, and this is actually a good piece of hardware to use these days because it's inexpensive. Nobody wants these things anymore. They basically give them away. You're looking maybe like 20 bucks. Now, what it does is it provides to Google Maps basically your location on the Google map, and that can be the live current location. It can be a trace of where you've been. So if you drive around with this in your vehicle, you can actually have a trace. You can see the different traces. So you can have a trace of point A to B, and when you start moving again, a trace of B to C, and they'd be in different colors. That's how I had everything working until Google Maps, it appears, changed their API, or some sort of JavaScript update caused that code to not work. So I have to repair that. That shouldn't be a major issue. It's just I've been occupied with studying. I am in the process of getting recertified for my Cisco. Now, what this does is, through this software I wrote, I titled it Zenith, GPS, as in reference to what's directly above, in that case a satellite. Satellites are above, right? So over the GPS radio obtains the coordinates, the phone, and then once a certain amount of degrees has shifted, that is when you're moving, or when the device senses that you've come to a complete stop and you've been stopped for a certain amount of time, it will then send under either of those two conditions a text message to the GSM network. From the GSM network, the SMS, the software actually chooses at random between two destination phone numbers to send the text. Okay, so to each of these sticks there's a phone number, so there's a load balance. You can have multiple phones like this in multiple cars, by the way. You could actually have the map display multiple cars, so you could do a fleet even. So the text message goes down to the sticks. The sticks are interfaced via their GSM modem, and using AT commands, the asynchronous serial program that I put together using the C language obtains the coordinates. Then, via the MySql C library, those coordinates are fed into a database. That database is accessed via PHP, which is launched when a computer connects over the network to the Apache server and makes a request for the PHP to generate the JavaScript, which utilizes the Google Maps API and the coordinates taken from the MySql database. So what you get from both directions, the Google Maps API and the JavaScript, is a display on the device, whether it's a smartphone, a tablet, a desktop. It will display the location of the fleet or the individual vehicle at their correct location, either in satellite, regular map, or street view, either real time or as in a trace. Okay, now the ideal install for this equipment is in an Automotive, and I took this graphic from the internet. It's just basically a dual diode isolator. So this battery here, the auxiliary battery, cannot drain the main battery, yet both charge when the alternator is running. So from the alternator B terminal, you go to the isolator, and on each end of the isolator you connect a battery. Both go to their grounds. Now, the second battery, this is your starter battery, Okay, they don't have I guess many amp hours, and they're not meant for draining. Neither battery are meant for draining, but the auxiliary battery can take it better. That would be your deep cycle type of battery. Okay, and to the deep cycle battery, you'd have a voltage regulator, which takes the 12 volts, drops it down to 5, and then that goes to the phone. Okay, phone running off 5 volts. Now this phone can be connected to this battery for about 45 days. Okay, without this battery here needing a recharge. So you could turn off your car and leave it running for 45 days, and you'd still know where the car is located. No one would probably ever use it like that, but that's how long it can go without a recharge. But the normal operation is that this battery charges the phone, and this battery is charged. Both batteries are charged by the alternator, but this battery cannot drain that battery. So your car will always start. So that's that. Here's a screen. Here's an actual live view of the coordinates coming in. Okay. This is to the C asynchronous serial program written in C. This is inserting these are the commands sent via the MySql library to the server. And basically what I have next is just a small video of the actual software running on one of the phones. Before I get into that, just in terms of cost, I mean, what you're looking at here, the hardware phone, 20 bucks. These are already purchased. These are maybe 20, 30 bucks a piece each. I'll only ever buy 2 of these, but for each person that would like to use this service, 20 bucks one-time fee, 30, 40 bucks maybe maximum. These just keep on going down in price for the phone. And you're looking at $85 a year for unlimited text on the Rogers network. So you're looking at $85 a year. One-time hardware fee of 30 bucks for the hardware. If you want the auxiliary battery, that's going to be about 150. So about 300 bucks for starts approximately, and then maybe 100 bucks a year after. So that's not bad. Hope you enjoyed.